We're live.
All
All right.
right.
Hey,
Hi,
welcome
Siobhan.
back,
Yes.
Gina. We took a hiatus on our show for the holidays, but we are back to our weekly shows on Rise Above, where we turn pain into purpose, power, peace, and possibilities, and however many other P's we can fit in there at any other given time.
Yes,
So,
there's lots.
so Gina, how have you been, and how was your holidays, and who are you? And tell us about amazing things that you're doing.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. The holidays were so good. They were good, even though they were very calm and different and, but peaceful. I love the holidays, so I'll take it anyway. It was great. It was just very different. My parents couldn't be with us and all that stuff because they had COVID, and there's a lot of people not able to be together. But other than that, I can't believe we're here at 2021, which is it's just remarkable to me. But here we are, and like it's I'm excited for this year. How about you? How are your holidays, and how do you feel right now about this year?
Yes, my holidays were good. They were the same, very peaceful, very just not a whole lot going on, so kind of stayed low. I did spend time with the family, so that's good. I love the family time. Did
Mm.
spend time with my parents. We spent the weekend over there, both weekends actually. So always great. Had a great weekend with them, and I am so excited about 2021 and the possibilities and what's to come and what I have planned, and to lead into what we're talking about, the goals that I have set and the outcomes I have planned for 2021. And so, yeah, I'm really, really excited. And
Well, like, okay, so real quick, let's just say who each of us are real quick because we're starting a new year. It's Siobhan, who are you and what you're up to in the world, and then I'll share about myself if that's okay.
of course, it's okay. All right. Well, hi, I am Siobhan Olivero, and I am doing everything I can to make this world a better place, to bring love, to bring peace, to bring understanding into the world. And I'm doing that um, through all kinds of ways, right? Through all of these speaking engagements that I do, but through my law firm, I am a lawyer. I do criminal defense. I do family law. I'm a certified divorce coach. I'm a certified insight, life, and success coach, and soon to be a certified Jack Canfield success principles coach and trainer. So that is on the goals to be done by the first quarter this year. So I am looking
Amazing.
forward to that, to have that as well. And so that is who I am and the things that I'm doing in the world and trying
Yeah.
to help people through these emotional times. So Gina, who
Mm.
are you and what are you doing?
Well, first of all, yes, you are all those things and more because your heart is bigger than you. It's enormous, and you're so giving, and you are like. Whenever I talk to you, it's like you have there's you are everywhere to help everyone. It's always amazing to me, and you're doing so much good in the world. That I'm totally inspired by you every single day, Siobhan. So I just wanted to say that. So thank you for all that you do, and for doing this cool show together. That because this started out as both of us talking about how we rose above the challenges in our lives, especially our divorces, difficult divorces, and raising children in light of difficult divorces, and um, it is rising above and like creating a new life for yourself. It really it is possible, and you have to even though we want to stay present where we are, we have to look at where we can go and where we want to go, right? So we'll get into that in a little bit, but I've had the great fortune of becoming a part of the Unblinded team last October, which is why part of the reason we slowed down on our show. Um, and I love people. I love life. I want to live free, and I want to support people in doing the same. I'm committed, and I found something here with Unblinded, and with doing the Real Raw Opens, which I'm the coordinator for, that will blow people's minds. And I know it's been making a huge impact for you. We'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. I've seen, and I've been around the Tony Robbins world a lot and done a lot of work in that space and a lot of personal development, and Jack Canfield studying also as one of his trainers. And but I found this is where I belong with Unblinded and what we're doing there for influencing with integrity, because it is important to me to make the world a greater place through being a good person, helping others, have integrity based influence. And that's why I'm here. So, really quick, and that has to be a goal.
Yeah.
That being the better person every day is a goal. If I wake up and that's the best like goal I can have that day, and that was what it was like in a lot of the dark times, is I just want to be, I want to feel good today. I want to be a better person today. I want to be a better person tomorrow. I want to be a better person the next day. And like, and let that better person shine out so that my kids can see it and what have you. And that can become a ripple effect. So, but let's talk about like those are like real purposeful goals for me for a long, long time. Now there's a lot more. So talk about goal. I want you to talk about goals because you're a very like a good structured person in that sense, and that's not something I'm fabulous at. I have visionary goals. Please share with me how you reach your goals because I know you do because you're doing so much.
Well, just so everybody knows, this is going to be a quick teaser episode because this
Yeah.
one is to be short for some timing issues. So we're going to turn this one into a series. And
Yeah.
we thought that goal setting and outcomes and finding your why was a great series to start with in the beginning of a new year. And so that's going to be what our series is and what we talk about. So tonight's going to be a little bit of a teaser about goals and outcomes, and then we'll go into more depth over the next couple of weeks in more goal setting and outcomes and finding your why. So for
Yeah.
for goals, and Gina, that those are phenomenal goals, and I acknowledge you for finding those purposeful goals, and those, and because the purposeful goals are just as important, if not even more important, than the
Well,
process goal.
when you're in the
Yeah,
muck, that's yeah. So
yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
they're
Thank you.
almost more important than the process goals, right? And the things that we do. And there are two sets of goals, right? There's the big goal, there's the why goal, and then there's the process goals, right? And
Hmm.
they work together. You have your big why, your outcome, and your why, and then you have the process goals to how to get there. So we have to really be aware of that. And so that's why we start with what is our outcome and what is our why. And then what I do is I work backwards from there, right? So
Yeah.
to give a quick overview how I started my 2021. So the first thing I did this week was to sit down and go, what are my goals, big goals for
Mm.
2021? What's my outcome? Where do I want to be December 31st, 2021? How do I want to end the year? And I look at that from multiple angles, from multiple visions for my business, my personal life, my relationship, my financial life. So I take all of those things and go, where do I want the outcome to be? And I write them down. Um, and Gina has seen my goals. I have them on a whiteboard sitting right here, right in front of me. And I took a picture of them and I shared them with her. So I have, well, she saw my monthly goals for 2021. You didn't see my yearly goals yet. I didn't show you that one yet. Still working on making those pretty to put on the wall. But um,
And take your time. I have another 10 minutes before I can
yeah.
go before I'm done.
And so we start with those big goals and then I
Mhm.
break them down. Okay, if I this is where I want to end 2021, then where do I need to be in the fourth quarter of 2021? Where do I need to be in the third quarter? Where do I need to be in the second quarter? And then finally, where do I need to be in the first quarter of 2021 to meet that? And I break that down by things like, let's say I want to have 125 speaking engagements in 2021.
Mm.
So, right. So that's the number I want to have. I just pulled a number out of the air. Okay. That's not my real goal, but like, let's just say that's the number that we pick, right? So
Mhm.
125 speaking engagements in 2021. What does that break down to each month? Or and then each week, and then each day, or each quarter, each month, each week, each day that needs to break out to. And that is how I work backwards from my goals, right? And where do I really start though is for me, I base everything off of financial goals, right?
Mm. Right,
And
because
so,
everything else can
yeah,
all that other magic can happen
yeah.
as a
And
result.
I've
Mhm.
had I had to go different ways, and I've heard other people do it different ways because for some people, it's not the financial goal isn't the driving goal for them, and it's not necessarily the driving goal for me, but that is my measurement for me of where I am. I need to make this much money to be able to do those purposeful goals that I have
Mm.
set for myself.
Mm.
And so that's the driving factor for me. So I have my income goal, my business revenue income goal, and my personal income goal. Now, my business revenue income goal obviously drives my personal, and what,
Mm.
they correlate. My business obviously pays me. So, and so my business revenue goal is where I put and where I started. And then I work backwards from there. It's a little more business coaching from this side of it, from the business, but I do my personal goals the same way. And, so it's, here's my revenue goal. And then what does that mean for client appointments? How many new clients do I have to get? How much revenue do I have to make? Where does that put me? Not only that, but what does that mean for marketing? What do I have to do in marketing each quarter? Where does that put me? How many speaking engagements does that mean I have to do? Which means I've done a lot of tracking, right, to know what those numbers are at this point. So that's a lot of the business side of it. But let's go the personal side of it. So Gina, you've done a lot of Jack Canfield as well, and so have I. So the purpose and really the importance of setting specific goals, right? And so it's I'm gonna do how much by when, or I'm gonna do what by when, and it's really putting the specific goals on there, and because they have to be measurable, right? So you can't just say I'm gonna lose 15 pounds by March, right? And so, and I loved it. I actually just re-listened to the goal setting stuff with Jack Canfield as I want to do a goal setting, course soon. And so I'm kind of re-listening to that right now. And so one of the things that I love that we teach about with that is that it needs to be measurable to like where somebody else knows where it is. So if I tell Gina I want to lose 15 pounds, accountability. If I tell you, Gina, I want to lose 15 pounds by March, your question to me is like, great, how do we measure that? Because you don't know what 15 pounds is to me, right? You don't know what I weigh right now. You don't know where I am. You don't know what that is. So it's setting that goal of, I want to weigh 120 pounds by March 30th by 5 p.m. So we can you can walk into my house on March 30th at 5 p.m. I can get on the scale and I'll be 120 pounds or less, right? We can measure the goal. We can track the goal and we know where we're at. And so, so that's a quick primer on goal setting and goals and making them specific and measurable and trackable. And so, and I don't want to necessarily start to move into the next topics where we're going to get into where to start from on the outcomes and the whys and the knowing the whys, because I think that you and I both have some really good techniques to help people find what's important to them, find those purposeful goals, to find their whys and their outcomes. And then I think from there, it's an important conversation to have to kind of start there and then go, okay, now how do we start to sit down and go, how do I figure out this goal? How do I get there? How do I measure it? And what can I do to get there and track it? But, and some of those goals that we have for ourselves, why I started with something simple, like, okay, I want to lose 15 pounds, right? Those are generally some of the goals or resolutions that people come up with right in the beginning of the year. So that's why I just wanted to hit on those types of goals and outcomes really quickly, just to make sure that if you're setting them, make them specific and make them measurable. And if you don't know if it's specific enough or measurable enough, then go ask somebody that is familiar with goal setting. Again, you can always call me or call Gina or call any of us where we can start to ask you questions on it. Well, how do you measure that?
Yeah.
And, if one of your goals is that I want to be happier, that's a very subjective goal. And so we have to figure out, how are you going to measure how you're happier? And so we can start to talk about that maybe next week on how do you, when you have those types of purposeful goals and they're aspirational and they're emotional goals, how do you put them into trackable, measurable ways to find out if you're happier, by your time frame that you want to be happier, or just in all of 2021, I want to be happier than I was last year. Great. We're going through a divorce, we're doing things, we're doing all these things, and my goal is that I just want to be happier. Then let's track them. And there's also things to do with that. And I'll end with this, with a story that Jack tells when he's talking about the goal settings and the things that he's doing. And it is one story about, a woman who said, just that she wanted to be happier, right? She wasn't happy, and she hasn't been happy for several years. I think it was like 6 years or something that she wasn't happy for. And his question is, well, was there a time when you were happy? And she said yes, that she was a widow. Her husband had passed away and she hadn't been happy and had been struggling emotionally since her husband had died. Well, what did you do to be happy when your husband was alive? And I gardened and I played piano and I did this and I went to the movie. I did all of these things. Well, when was the last time you did all of those things? Well, it happened to be before her husband died, right? So all this time had gone by and she hadn't been doing those things that had made her happy. She wasn't happy. And what I love when Jack Canfield tells the story is he told her, will you do this for me? If I ask you to do this, will you commit to doing this? Will you commit to doing gardening, playing the piano, and I think it was like painting or art or something that she enjoyed doing for 30 days. And then write me a letter in 30 days or in 60 days, whatever the time frame was, and tell me how you are.
Mm.
And she did. And he said, how are you? And she's like, I am so much happier. Right. So a lot of it, and when we're looking at where we want to be and those purposeful goals and what our outcomes are to be, if it's something like, I just want to be happy, or I just want to find, my passion, or all of those things, then it's okay. Well, when were you happy? When did you have something you're passionate about? And let's talk about those. And then let's look at what we can do to get there. So,
Yes, 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 yes. I'm sorry, I'm getting interrupted for where I do have to be in a little bit. And yes, that is absolutely, absolutely beautiful. And those goals, just to have those a better state, is really important. And so I love that you shared that story. Thank you, honestly, Siobhan. Really appreciate all that you do. You're making a huge impact on the world, and I want to definitely dive into this more deeply and definitely look at that. Those more of that, even just like what are they what do you have to do every day to have that happiness? What do you have to do every day to have meet your financial goals? And yeah, so thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate this opportunity that we have to share. And we're gonna, so 5:30 Thursdays, we'll be back. Next week we'll dive deeper. We'll dive deeper, but start to think about, if you're watching this, what what is an important goal to you? It can be something as simple as like making tomorrow a better day, and like doing something that makes you happy and nurtures you.
yes,
I
absolutely.
know. Yeah. So thank you guys all so much for watching. And listen, if you want to reach Siobhan, there's her info there. She's an outstanding, amazing woman, and incredible person to talk to, incredible coach. She does actually have all the answers. So I'm just saying, she usually does. If I need something answered, I'll call Siobhan. And we have these amazing, these amazing events where people come on that you get to share who you are and what you're up to in the world, and we can talk about that next week, maybe a little bit too, because it does help people meet their goals. And I know that has had some impact for you. So before we end it, what else do you want to say? Anything else, or?
So Gina, how can they reach you if they want to reach out to you?
I put it on there. So I'm the Real Raw Open coordinator with Unblinded. We have these outstanding marketing events, I will say. It's an incredible show. And my number's there, 732-838-6227. It is an opportunity for everybody to grow their business, to grow their relationship capital, and accelerate in everything that they do. So I invite anyone to be a part of that. Siobhan has them every week. So yeah, I know that,
Oh,
you always have the right people coming in, and that it makes an impact for. So that is it. Yeah. So I am going to I get to go somewhere with my son right now. And so thank you for your patience at the end there, as I was fiddling with my phone while he was calling me. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week. Thank you, Siobhan, for creating this for us, and for all that you do.
of course. Thank you, Gina. Yes, we'll be back next week at 5:30. As always, as we end the show, just remember that you are not alone. We are here for you. If you need a tribe, we are here to be your tribe. Please reach out. Please call us. Please email. Whatever you need to do. Remember, you're not alone. We are here, and we will see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.